It's time for another EDC video. It's been a month since the last one, give or take a few days, but I thought I would do a real quick video on just what's changed since the last video and the reasons why I'm going to change it, because I've been carrying the same stuff since the last video, and today I've decided that I'm going to change stuff out. So that's what this video is going to be on, and I'm going to show what I'm changing it to and why. So yeah. So I figured I'd start off with the knives. So this is the main one that I've been carrying. It's a Case Stockman. Yeah, I did say I wasn't going to put a false patina on here, but I did. You can't really see it, but it's like a blue, purple, titanium sort of colour to it. But anyway, that's the main knife that I've been carrying. In 2 days out of the week, I carry a locking blade because I legally can, and that's been the Spyderco Delica. I've got two jobs. One of them I work in a charity shop, which is, I can only carry this. And 2 days out of the week I do horticulture and ground maintenance, and I'm cutting heavy duty zip ties and things. So I like to carry a locking blade because I don't trust slip joints with that sort of cutting. But anyway, as far as the case goes, I am going to be changing this. There's a few things that I like about it and a few things I don't like about it. The main thing I don't like about it really is just that the back springs are really slack. They've loosened up quite a bit and they're not as tight as they were when I first got it, and I just don't trust that. And also, I'm just really disappointed with it. For an American made £50 knife, I would expect better quality, but this has just got a load of gaps in the back springs. I don't think you'll be able to see. There's a big one there. There's a one there, and that one there I can almost stick my thumbnail in it. So yeah, there's a few quality control issues which I can't justify, because like I say, it's made in America and it cost us 50 quid, and for that sort of price I would expect better. So I'm going to be swapping this with my old Victorinox camping model. And this has got really good back springs, very powerful. I think you can hear there, yeah. So I'm going to be swapping the case for the Victorinox again. Also, I've missed the Victorinox knives for the past month now, just over a month. So yeah, that's the knives. Now for flashlights, this is the only flashlight that I've carried on my person for the past month and a half, and I really like it. It's worked perfectly fine. There's two things I don't like about it. What I do like about it is the clicky switch and the fact that it's got 3 modes, and it's very versatile little flashlight, and it's 100 lumens. The thing that I don't like about it is it's accidentally switched itself on twice in my pocket over the past month, and because of that I put a fresh battery in here. I didn't know it was on, and the battery was dead when I actually needed it. And the second time the battery wasn't fully dead, but it only had enough power in it to do one mode, which was the lowest mode, which is that, I think. Yeah, that's the lowest mode, which is bright enough, but if I wanted a better mode I couldn't have used it at the time. So that's one thing I don't like about it and the reason why I'm changing it. Another thing I hate about it is it's got coils to attach a little split ring, but because of the tail cap you can't attach a split ring to it, so I don't see any point in it having the holes there. And the only way I've been able to attach it to the keychain is by taking some inner guts of paracord and sticking it through there. But after about 2 months it's wearing through a lot, so I'm going to be changing this. And what I'm going to be changing this to is my Phoenix LD12, which is still one of my favourite flashlights. I think it's 120 lumens, 3 modes. Well, I don't need to say what it's got, I'm sure everybody knows about these things, they're pretty popular. But that's the new flashlight. I could swap the LD02 for the old EO1 and my EO5, but this works for me, and like I say, it's one of my favourites, so I'm going to carry this from now on, and I'm not going to carry any little flashlights on the keychain. I've already got another flashlight in the bag anyway, so I'm pretty much carrying 3 flashlights if I'm going to be carrying the keychain, this, and one in my bag. And I don't like carrying multiple items of the same thing, so I'm just going to be carrying this now as my personal flashlight and one in the EDC bag, which I'll show later on in the video. So the next item is something that I always forget in every single EDC video I've ever done, and that's my belt. And this is pretty important to me because it keeps my pants up, and I carry like wallets and flashlights and multi-tools, and they tend to wear your pants down a lot. And I wear this every single day. I have done for about 3-4 years now. I've worn it in the woods, I've worn it in towns and cities, and I've worn it at parties. And that's where this comes in, where it's the most important thing, part of my EDC. My friends do this thing called pantsing, where if you're talking to a girl, they'll sneak up behind you and they'll pull your pants down, exposing your piece to the ladies that you're talking to. So that's why it's a pretty important thing for me to have, because it stops them from pulling my pants down. I don't want to expose the ladies to my piece because it's pretty big, and I don't want them to like pass out or anything, especially at the party because there's a load of sex pests there. But anyway, I have slept in this a few times when I've been at parties. I've gotten drunk and I've just fell asleep wearing it, and I've just fallen asleep in the woods with it a few times because during the winter I don't want to take my clothes off. So yeah, so that's my belt. It's Black Hawk. I'm not sure about the model. I've had this for a while now, but the only problems I've had with it is just some wear marks on the buckles. And the opposite end, it's frayed badly here, so I've cut it and then melted it, and it's starting to fray again. So I've decided 3 or 4 years I need an upgrade, so I'm upgrading this to this belt, which is also a Black Hawk. I think it's the CQC or CQB, but this one's a bit different because it's made in America, whereas this one is made in Vietnam, I think. You can't see, it's worn a bit, but that's made in Vietnam. And this one feels a bit stiffer, so, well, this one I've been wearing for 4 years, so I guess it's worn in a little bit, but this one does feel a little stiffer and a little better and heavier duty here. So I'll give that a go. I also got a brand new Top Sierra belt as well. I've got another one, but that's in the bug out bag, but I thought I would get another one just to wear anyway. So I've got 2 new belts, Top Sierra and the Black Hawk CQC, so I'll give them a go. So wallet, Maxpedition CMC wallet. This is the one thing that I don't think is ever going to change in my EDC. I've had this for about 13 years now, maybe it's 14. And I've changed wallets a few times since I've had this, and I keep on going back to this, so I don't think I'm ever going to change this. And the contents of this is the same as the last video. So Keychain, this has also changed. I've gone back to the Night Eyes key rack instead of that split ring. I've still got the CRKT Kurt. I've changed it back to the Gerber dime. Actually like this a lot more than the Leatherman Squirt. And I'm still keeping the Phoenix NW20, which I have used once in emergency. Well, it might not have been an emergency, but I was in the woods and the big Doberman started running up to us and it was growling, so I blew this and it ran away, so that could have saved us from an attack. I don't know. I don't want to take any risks, like. Dobermans are a pretty powerful dog. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I have used that once. A lot of people ask us why I bother carrying a whistle, but it's an emergency item. You're not going to be an emergency every day, but when you are going to be an emergency, I'd rather have it than need it and not have it. Anyway, Leatherman, I don't think that's going to change. The carabiner multi-tool. It's one of my favourite carabiners as far as keychain carabiners go. And I've still got my little one-eye Captain Jack pirate skull bead that my sister got us. And obviously there's a few keys on here as well, but I'm not going to show them because apparently people can now make 3D prints of your keys. But anyway, that's my key ring or keychain. So for the phone, I've gone back to the Sony Xperia. I still hate touchscreen phones, but this has got a lot of music on it, and that's pretty much mainly what I use this for, is just listening to music. The odd call and text, and maybe it's the odd photograph, and that's pretty much it. So that's my phone. So, pen and notepad. I'm not carrying Right in the Rain notepads on my person, but I do have one in the bag. But I go through notepads quite a lot, and I just think it works out cheaper just buying cheap ones, like from Asda or other places like that. It's pretty much the same thing, except it's not waterproof. And in an urban environment, when you're indoors all the time, you don't really need a waterproof notepad anyway, so that's my notepad. The pen is still the same Expedition Acantha. It's just one of my favourite pens of all time. And I'm constantly using it. The only thing with it is it does weigh quite a bit, but I don't really notice the weight when it's clipped to my pocket. So that's no real big deal to me. I've handed it to a few people who were needing the pen and they were commenting on the weight, but yeah. It's my pen and notepad. So one of the last items is the bandana. It's a pretty common sense thing to have for me. It's first aid. You can use it as a dust mask. You can tie things up with it. You can wet it and you can use it as like a smoke mask if there's a fire and you want to stop yourself from breathing in the smoke. And that's pretty much all the things I can think of the top of my head with it. But yeah, it's a pretty useful item. Another item I'm always forgetting to mention, but it's something that I've also been carrying for about 3 or 4 years now, is my cap. In this case it's a Beretta cap, and I've modded it slightly with some piercings, and it's a little discoloured. It's been washed a few times. But yeah, that's it for my personal EDC. I'll get into the bag now, but I might do a separate video on that because I think this video is going to be long enough as it is. So I'll do a part 2 to this, I think. So, things I forgot to mention, the watch is still the G-Shock GW7900, and I've replaced the old Marathon compass with this Explorer brand compass, which is very accurate. I actually bought 2 of them and this was the most accurate out of the 2. Only cost $1.99 each, so it's well worth it for the money. And if I get a year out of it, like I did with the Marathon, then pretty much pays for itself. So that's the watch. Another thing I forgot to mention was the lighter is just a Zippo lighter, standard brass replica of a 1960s, I think. But this one's made in 2005. and it's got a C on there. I don't know what month C is, but yeah. So that's my personal EDC gear. It looks like a lot, but it's pretty easy to carry. At least it is for me. Other people might think it's too much, but anyway, that's my EDC gear. Thanks for watching, and I'll do my EDC bag now.